are the two superstars of modern football. Their names are spoken of with reverence. Geelong's godlike full forward kicked his 100th goal of the season when the Cats last met North Melbourne. He'd brought up the ton against the same team a year earlier. With 12 goals in 2 finals, he is Geelong's match winner. Possibly the most feared and admired man ever to play the game. Only a point separated these teams when they last met on the neutral turf of Princes Park. For North Melbourne, Wayne Carey was at his dazzling best. His 5 goals, just superb. Stop Carey, and you stop North Melbourne. The supporting cast is equally awesome. 2 co-stars have the talent to turn any game. Bustling Billy Browns is the man who's kept the premiership race alive for the Cats. His goal after the siren destroyed Footscray. The big mark, the huge kick, the need to prove his critics wrong. They called John Longmire the horse. Against Hawthorn, his kicking was astray. The former Coleman medalist will spearhead the North attack. On target, he can be awesome. Off target, he can be horrible. 4 men on a grand final mission. For 2 of them, a chance of further football immortality. For 2 of them, the 1994 season will be over. From the Melbourne Cricket Ground, the first cutthroat preliminary final featuring North Melbourne and Geelong.
The stakes are high for a spot in the grand final. Hi everybody, welcome along to the MCG for the first preliminary final. It's North Melbourne against Geelong. North Melbourne have won their last 3 games. In fact, both these sides in sparkling form. That last victory by North Melbourne in extra time against Hawthorn, they won at Waverley by 23 points. Now the Cats, 4 wins on the trot, including last Saturday's second semi-final. They defeated Carlton by 33 points, minus 4 of their champions. Well, at least 3. Paul Couch, Mark Bairstow and Gary Hocking, and Michael Mansfield was missing as well. And just a reminder, coming up later today, it's the second preliminary final from the WACA ground in Perth. The West Coast Eagles up against Melbourne. The reserves has just ended here at the MCG. It's a pleasant day here in Melbourne. Some rain earlier, but certainly things are perking up. Down in the dressing rooms earlier, both these sides, of course, keeping a close watch on just who will play. A question mark over that man coming in. He will play, Gary Hocking. There is some doubt about 1 or 2 of these players. Mansfield is there. Of course, Tanner pulled out yesterday because of that ankle injury. 1 man in no doubt. 6 goals in each of the finals so far. Gary Ablett outstanding. Paul Couch, not stripping as yet, but this film taken some time ago. And across the way, Brett Allison having a good final round so far. Crocker minus the headgear. Important player for them. As I mentioned, to extra time in that game against Hawthorn. And certainly they worked hard in the 10 minutes after the final siren. And Hawthorn failed to score. There's a man with a big job this afternoon as we take a look at this crowd. It is a sellout. All the tickets sold. I guess the final number will be determined by the number of members who turn up here at the MCG. And with me this afternoon is Terry Wheeler as we watch these people coming into the ground. Can't see Terry there, but he's alongside me now. Looking forward to this game because back in round 20, these 2 sides played and we saw the Cats get home by a point. And their best players that day, you guessed it, Couch, Bairstow and Hocking as North Melbourne come onto the ground. And in that meeting in round 20, Wayne Carey bidded 5 goals for the Kangaroos, and there he is. It was a good game of football. Surprising really, because in round 20 it was a fine day at Princes Park, a small ground, 2 sides with very potent forward lines as the Cats arrive now. The prize, of course, the grand final. Going back to that round 20 meeting, just the 21 goals between the 2 teams that afternoon. So production was down. I wonder whether that will be the case this afternoon. I doubt it. So North Melbourne, just the 1 game in the finals. Geelong, A 5-point victory over Footscray as we take a look at this North Melbourne squad. Terry, good afternoon.
Thanks, Dennis. And North Melbourne is certainly coming into this game with some good form after the Hawthorn match. Wayne Schwartz becomes a very important player for the side. He ruffled a few Hawthorn feathers last week with his aggression at the ball. We see Mark Roberts returning for his first senior game in 3 months. A big ask of that man. And Craig Scholl, a creative running play for a halfback, will be a focal point right throughout the afternoon for them running off that halfback line.
And what about the Cats? Talking about the number of goals we saw back in round 20, you saw that game with me. Surprising, wasn't it?
It was surprising when you have two such fine offensive sides that we should have expected more goals to be kicked there. And Gary Ablett on that particular day really struggled to his 100th goal. Nicky Martin did a very good job on him, and I think they will again batch themselves up again. John Barnes, the ruckman, the effervescent, the tireless ruckman, will be a key player. And Tim McGrath, the centre half back for the Geelong side, will be pitched to Wayne Carey for the 3rd time for the season.
It's a sellout crowd then at the MCG, just about set to go. North Melbourne and Geelong will be back in just a moment. The scene at the MCG after the national anthem. As we say, a very good afternoon to Neil Curley and Gerard Healy down on the boundary. Gentlemen.
Thank you, Dennis. Well, the sun's out shining. We have had some heavy rain, well, not heavy rain, but a strong shower. I've been in the Geelong room. The atmosphere down there is absolutely fantastic. The players are very relaxed. You have the outs of the Geelong side. They just look quietly confident down there. Malcolm Blythe's just moving among his players, just quietly having a word here and a word there, and they look extremely confident. I'm selecting Geelong.
Yeah, well, I'm going against you, Knuckles. North Melbourne's had the perfect preparation after an awesome victory against Hawthorn. I think they'll go on and win here today. Too much strike power up forward. On the bench, the starting bench is Rock, who's a bit fortunate, I think, to be in the side, McAdam and Glenn Archer, although they've told me that Glenn Archer may start on the ground if rain is pending, which it probably isn't at the moment.
Wayne Carey has won the toss. North Melbourne going down towards the giant scoreboard end. The breeze across the ground as we say a very good afternoon to Drew Morford.
Afternoon, Dennis. Well, I just don't really know how to draw a line through this game. Two of the best attacking teams in the competition. I think Geelong might have gained something extra special out of last weekend's special victory over Carlton. But North with 4 tall forwards with Mark Roberts back, they'll be hard to beat. A draw I'll go for.
I was going to say, was that a selection? What about you, Terry?
Dennis, I favour the Geelong side here this afternoon. I think both sides have got very, very good attacks. Longmire and Carey, and at the other end we have Ablett and Brownless. But it's then going to be the ability of the midfields, and I like having the Geelong players coming back freshened from a week off.
What about the crowd? 65, 70,000. It was sold out. All the tickets went, but still some empty seats visible high in the stands.
A change to the interchanges for North Melbourne. Mark Roberts has gone to the bench. Archer will be in the starting 18.
And on the bench for the Cats, Wills Brown. That's a surprise. He played very well last week. He's coming across. And Colbert. So the prize, a spot in the grand final. The second preliminary final coming up later today. As I mentioned earlier, check your local guides as to the coverage in your area, live or in replay. The West Coast Eagles in Melbourne. The winner of that plays the winner of this next week on this ground for the big one. Big roar in Melbourne. Set to go. Schenko and Barnes look across the centre circle, eyeball to eyeball.
Dennis, we have Mickey Martin and Gary Ablett down in the goal square once again.
Here we go. The first preliminary final. Barnes and Schenko. Awkward bounce. Favours Schenko. Couch an opportunity. Met hard. Bairstow in trouble. Dragged off the ball. It spills wide. Stevens has got it now. Emerges from the pack. Goes down towards half forward. It's a floater. Steve Hocking and Nichols. Almost the mark to Nichols. Picked up by Carey. To Schwartz just outside the 50. Nobody at home. Hinkley, so good last week, in the back pocket. Big game specialist.
I think Couch got a bit of a shake-up in that opening bounce too.
He certainly will be one that they'll have to go at early physically.
O'Reilly runs the ball out from fullback. Long kick up towards centre wing. Mensch, and Fairley comes from behind him. Scholl for North Melbourne. Up towards half forward. There's Carey. Loses control of it. And Tim McGrath takes it away. Kick by McGrath towards the centre circle. Schwass takes one high, but no whistle for that. Up to centre half forward. McKernan on the turn. A very high ball. A real hospital ball, but Carey jumps out of the pack to mark.
That's the great thing about Wayne Carey. Wherever the ball is, he's quite prepared to have a go at it. He's quite fearless in the way he throws his body around, and that one was no exception. The ball was sitting very high, dropping straight down, but he was the one who was always going to make it his.
Magnificent effort by the North Melbourne skipper, and the chance for first points in the preliminary final. Right in front, just 30 metres out. A goal to North.
That's just the start, most obviously, that Dennis Pagan would have wanted, because Geelong have been the side who have started very well in the last two finals games. Both their first quarters have been scintillating, but here for North Melbourne, who have been attacking the ball very, very well in the opening part, to get the first score is really a benefit to them. And Wayne Carey, what a great start for him.
Shades of round 20. Carey had 5 goals by early in the third term. He got the first goal of that game. Back in the middle, Schenko camped under it. Hocking knocks it down. Stevens scrambles it wide of the pack. Schwass leads in the race, has it on the wing. Heads out wide. It bounces across the line about 70 metres out from North's attacking goal, and they've started looking sharp. The outlook. Expecting a top of 15. Pretty cool at the present time. 12 degrees. Possible showers. We've had a couple already. Handley and McKernan, body to body. McKernan with strength gets it down. Blakey could have been pushed in the back. Handley comes again, then lost it. McKernan tried to knock it on. Couches in there, spills wide. Allison got it across to Blakey, but a whistle and a throw. It's coming back to Gary Hocking. Missing last week in that inspirational victory by the Cats. Barnes slipped over off the boot of a Schenko. Hinkley in the middle with some time. Gets by Archer. Props, kicks down towards half forward. Brownless goes up. Missed it. Loose ball behind. Minch has got it.
Loses control of it. Schwass at half-back. Floats a hand pass backwards to Laidley. Close to the boundary line. He's kicked to centre wing. McKernan. Great athlete. Plays on Corey McKernan. Out in front of Carey. No mark, but he plays on the skipper. Left footer. Kicks it under his man for a goal.
Stevens. Couch has got it now. Down he went. Stevens again. Well done on his knees. Got the hand pass away. This is Brewer taken high surely. And he'll get the free kick. Shane Brewer. Plus 50, is it? Yes, it is.
They needed this, the Cats, because they've been the quick starters more often than not, but this time North have jumped out of the box.
Yep. Carey a mark and a goal, and one off the ground as well. Hard to contain. But here's Brewer. Fine player last week in that victory over Carlton. Big upset. He kicks from 35 out. Looks good. Goal.
And that's a very important part there for Geelong, just to be able to settle that little bit now. They certainly didn't want North to get the third goal in this opening quarter. Brewer playing on the wing. He has young King over there. And aggressive at the ball. And he's been a very good acquisition to the Geelong side. And is a goal-kicking option for them, which they need from these runners from the midfield.
Two goals to one in the opening 5 minutes. Schenko goes against Barnes. Schwass out of the back, up towards the 50. Carey beating McGrath so far. The hand pass, King fumbles, but recovers 47 metres out. Bounces a kick to Longmire. Stands in the tackle. Bairstow for Geelong gets the hand pass out. Here's Carey again. Goes for a hat-trick. Allison's got it. North 3 goals to 1. What a start by the Kangaroos.
A very well-balanced start, and it's been very good that Dennis Pagan has stuck with big Alex Schenko in with against John Barnes in the centre bounce. He's been very good in there. There was a lot of talk that maybe Corey McKernan or Peter Mann may run with the agile Barnes, but it's been Schenko that's given the chance. Carey again aggressive at the ball, and Allison an opportunist in around the goal square.
Like the soccer pools, North Melbourne 3, Geelong 1. Back in the middle. Ashenko goes up, knocked down by Barnes with his left hand. Hocking's got it, claimed by Stevens, wrestled to the ground. Whistle and a ball up, or is it Blakey underneath there? It's Blakey. Strong tackle.
Stevens has got the job on Hocking for the afternoon, Dennis.
Very close, as you can see. Ashenko wins it down decisively. Bairstow, hurried kick inside the 50. In front, Smith coming back. Man did very nicely. Clever mark. Man goes out wide with the kick into space. Judged perfectly. Crocker plays on immediately. Scholl fumbles. Now he's got problems. Held a long time. Spills to Bairstow. Bairstow boots it downfield, but it's coming back. Scholl will get the free. Hickmott hanging on too long. Craig Scholl, who played his 100th game against St Kilda in round 17 this season. Forward of half back, kicks it down towards half forward. Ill-directed. Hocking, busy early, drifting into open space, takes the mark. His own half back line, Gary Hocking.
Named in the All-Australian side yesterday for the 3rd time in his career. Big climb by Brownless and the crowd yells Billy every time. Ashenko, a lucky kick. It comes to Smith. Kick by Smith to centre half forward. Carey's been a winner. He's got it again.
Right.
Well, how do you stop this man?
He's on fire today. That's tremendous football. Strong front position. McGrath did everything he could, but you can see how Carey's even prepared to push back hard on the contest, allowing him to have clear go at the ball.
And there's all sorts of talk that Carey isn't 100% fit. And I think if you asked him, he'd admit that at this stage, well, it's pretty hard to be 100% fit. He's had trouble with a calf, but he's playing superbly. He's taken 2 marks, coming up for his 4th kick and going for goal number 3. It's away to the right. That's the first miss of the game. 3-1 to 1 goal. Geelong bench, Andrew Wills, who looked as though he was going to miss out, but eventually came in when Tanner didn't get through training yesterday. So it's Brown, Wills, there on the bench.
Stephen O'Reilly. Slightly members side with the kick. McKernan goes up. Thought he was interfered with. He'll get the free. North doing it well at the moment. McKernan about 60 metres from his attacking goal. Outstanding youngster. Pumps it back in. It's a high ball. Ashenko in from the side. Got hands to it. Couldn't hang on. It falls forward. Crocker made a beeline for it. Away to Stevens. 35 metres out. And he's missed. It's all North Melbourne at the moment, though. Kangaroo bench.
That's a great start to have McAdam and Roberts, 2 fine goal scorers on the bench, and the side get the start as it has now without them.
Pretty handy, Anthony Roberts, state player. Fancy Roberts being back 16 weeks after a knee reconstruction. Kick in. Carey doing the defensive work this time. Tudor, rather Riccardi, a bit of a fumble. Hand pass through. Here's McGrath getting a clear touch. He's had trouble with Carey. Straight onto the chest of Ashenko, back in the centre square. North players free down the far side, but a poor kick by Big Alex. It's grabbed by Bairstow. Chance for the Cats to rebound. Kick by Bairstow. Hickmott. Courage going back into the pack. Brownless taken out of it by Ashenko. It falls to Couch. He's kicked wide. Hocking. Thumped to ground by Smith. Free kick to Hocking for over the shoulder. Dennis Pagan. So much success at lower grade level in grand finals with premierships, both at North Melbourne and Essendon. Can he get another grand final here today with North, this time in the seniors? Kicked by Hocking, topped off by Crocker.
Fantastic. Brave attempt there by Crocker. The kick not particularly good to the wing, and that's a clever mark. Strong hands, Handley in front. Bairstow on for the short one. He ignores that. Sun is out at the present time. Good to see. Here's Riccardi forward at the wing. Down towards half forward and Mansfield. Only the 9 games last season. One of the first pick this season when he's fit.
Matched Wayne Schwass for the afternoon.
Down towards the kick-off line. Ablett is down there. Scholl missed it. Brownless behind. Open goal beckons. Brownless puts it through.
Ran a long way to have a word with Mick Martin after he dealt with Brownless as he was kicking that goal. Brewer fumbles. It's going backwards for Geelong off Steve Hocking. Here's Larson. Steve Hocking again. Doesn't find the boundary line. Nichols goes over his shoulder to Schwass. Couch, well done. Bairstow thumps it off the ground, and it bounces off a North opponent, Stevens, and goes out of bounds. Malcolm Blight chewing the fingernails down. He's been in 2 grand finals, but has yet to get a premiership as a coach with Geelong. He's trying to get them into his 3rd grand final. Geelong have won both times this year, the last time by only a point. Kicked by Couch. Stevens at centre wing with a bit of time. Bit of a late tackle. Oh, what a courageous mark by Brewer.
From half-back, out wide, Barnes on the lead. It's a good bounce here. King in pursuit, well played by Barnes to Hocking. Ladley comes to meet him, but we've got a whistle. It's going back to Barnes, is it? Or
downfield, big Alex Sashenko kept coming at Barnes.
Oh, well, Barnes earning the free, and Hocking goes in short to Pickering, who was terrific in that victory against Carlton. Watch it again.
He's not too good either, Barnes.
It would have been a lot worse if he hadn't got down underneath it.
Yeah.
Not very subtle. Meantime, Pickering from about 35 metres out. Important kick, this one. What's he done? Just missed, I fancy. Brushed the post. Liam Pickering. 3-2, plays 2-1. There's John Barnes having a marvellous final round.
Margin 7 points. Fairley goes short, and Mann takes the mark at halfback.
That's got to be 50.
Well, 3 umpires there. Didn't agree with it, Wheels. Away to Fairley again. Kick to centre wing, and strong mark taken by McKernan. This man has given away a free kick with a push. Brought in umpire Chris Mitchell, and so the free will go to Stephen Handley. Just at the crucial time, and the kick to centre half forward, off Mench it goes. Crocker in front position. Laidley, been an excellent defender all year. Subterranean kick to the boundary line, just gets there.
Crocker doing a very good job on Bairstow at the moment. Crocker's picked up his 4 or 5 possession, has really been able to keep Bairstow under good tabs early in the game.
North Melbourne favoured. Sashenko props in front, Barnes hooks it behind. Stevens, though, has the run of it. Gets by Brewer. Runs up towards the middle and kicks down towards half forward. McGrath and Carey again. It clears them both. McGrath gets back. Visibly shaken earlier. This kick not particularly good either towards the wing. Riccardi couldn't control it. Archer crashes in. Opportunity for Schwarz. Back to Archer. Archer the sweeper over the top. Stevens. Stevens kicks inside the 50. Upended as he kicked. Good talking down there. Hinkley coming up. Called out Steve Hocking. Took the mark. Drives it towards the outer side. Gary Hocking. Clever mark. Meters in the clear now. Kicks inside the 50. Brownless goes up in front. Fisted away by Scholl. North Melbourne. Stevens got it back to Scholl. Dragged down. They'll bring it out, or will they? Crocker's got problems. Diving in there was Hickmott. Spills wide, a chance for King. Tudor missed him. King's kick was charged down. In goes Brewer. Strong tackle Smith. Back comes Stevens. Gets it across to Crocker. He's going nowhere. Coming out backwards is Shenko. And finally a whistle. Oh, gee, it was hectic.
Great piece of football there, and both sides now are really intense in what they're doing, and I think Geelong have settled very well in this period.
North Melbourne 17-3 with handballs. Riccardi off the left. Mench might have taken the mark. It comes back to Riccardi, who spins through trouble. Laidley fumbles just inside the 50, and Pickering's over it, and there'll be a ball up. The other Carey comes in, umpire Peter, to ball it up. Liam Pickering, who played such a great game last week on Greg Williams and had 31 possessions. Shenko doing all right so far on Barnes. Comes to Stevens. McGrath had a real hard flutter early in the game. Carey. Oh, Carey, brilliant. Just gets rid of it in time. McKernan on the 50. What athleticism. But O'Reilly, the fullback, takes the mark in front of Longmire.
He was like a cork in the ocean. Here's O'Reilly up from fullback. Slides it across the ground. McGrath in open space. Gathers it. Needs a good kick here for his own confidence. This wobbles down towards the wing. Pickering was in front. Allison on the up, nicely done. King on the burst inside the 50. Carey goes back, hocking up very early, almost a free kick, nothing doing. Oh, I've never seen that before. Oh, amazing. The presence of mind to do that. It's a behind only because it crossed the line, I think, on the bounce. Goal side, was it? Well, I don't know. I mean, clearly it bounced across. That was something special.
What great skills by Wayne Carey. Terrific mark by Barnes. Oh, but he kicked into the back of King, and King grabs the rebound. Goes for a long shot at goal. Gets the distance, but hooked it for a behind.
Not the first King to have copped it in the back.
It's interesting, North Melbourne had some 52 possessions to Geelong's only 32. But I think Geelong are playing a lot more efficient and straight football. North Melbourne really peppering the goals.
O'Reilly punches this one in towards the outer side. Over the top, Crocker. Big fist on it. Well, he wound up for that one, did King, and thumped it well inside the 50. Terrible bounce down there for Archer. Taken by Stevens. Mansfield got a shocking bounce as well. Allison. The dribbler misses. Oh, this game so far has got everything.
Both sides now are really locked into a do-or-die struggle. North Melbourne have the ascendancy now in these last couple of minutes with shots at goal, and I would hope that they don't rue some of these misses that have occurred.
5 straight behinds now for North after 3 straight goals to start.
Kick by O'Reilly. Barnes knocks away from McKernan. Oh, all cats here. Bairstow, good hand pass to Couch. He's got Hocking inside. The 3 in the engine room, all missed last week, combining there. Kick by Hocking. Ablett. Haven't sighted him yet. Tudor, who was a dangerous goal-kicking rover last week, centres the ball to Hickmott or Couch, and Couch takes the mark. And the 3 Musketeers were prominent that time.
A great string of handball down through the centre of the ground. Couch was a little bit slow giving his off to Hocking, but he followed on and was here for this shot at goal.
Inside 30 metres. Couch goals.
Bairstow now in trouble. Scholl drives it down towards half forward for his side. Handley over the top, got a fist to it. Allison on the burst, superbly done. 40 metres out, deserves a goal. What a beauty. His second. Marvellous.
Brett Allison playing on the wing on Riccardi at the moment, and he's been very damaging coming off there. Probably more known as a half-forward flanker who can slot in and kick the goal. But from the wing, he's able to do a longer and harder running, particularly onto the Carey and Longmire contests. And he's getting there just at the moment. Riccardi isn't.
Allison has kicked his 34th goal of the season. He's been good in that area. He's kicked a 5 3-4s. A real mess in the centre circle. And the umpire will ball it up again. Bright sunshine and the ground has dried off. We had quite heavy rain during the reserves. And incidentally, for viewers interstate, they might be interested. Footscray absolutely belted Fitzroy by 123 points in the preliminary final in the VSFL. And they'll play North next week in the grand final. Here's Brewer. Brewer gets the hand pass away to Ken Hinkley. Very high kick to half forward. Brownless is there, outnumbered 2-1. Smith got to him with a punch from behind. Couch. All Geelong. Hocking runs onto it. Gives out the hand pass to Tudor. This should be a goal. Against his old side, but he hits the post.
Their second poster, and if my memory serves me correctly, they had 5 at their last meeting. Geelong hit the post a number of times in that 1-point victory. Here's Martin up the ground, got it from Blakey.
Couldn't do it if you tried, could you?
No, not 5 times. There's Martin, a high one to the wing. Carey sets, up he goes. Well, that is just superb. Remarkable player, this man. Put one across the face and he's down and hurt. Stoically standing the mark. The crowd showing no compassion. Watch it again. His own man got him. the side, collected it. Carey inside the 50. Barnes a big leap, couldn't hang on. Behind Longmire, back to goal now, 40 metres out. The hand pass comes to Stevens. Stevens in desperate trouble. Crocker, Allison for his third. He's missed. Well, the run up already out to Riccardi.
So Dennis, they've just made the change now with Mansfield now taking Allison and Riccardi back onto Schwass. So that move had to be made by Bloke. Allison's been so damaging.
Rock on the ground for North. Nichols benched. Kick in by O'Reilly. Riccardi takes the mark over Schwass. Floats the hand pass to Barnes. Gets it back to Peter Riccardi. Short pass to Hocking. Carey back in defence. Man, gave it to Bairstow. Back to Riccardi. We haven't sighted Ablett yet. Ablett's in the goal square. Riccardi looks for him. There's a lot back there. No mark. Here's the great man. Tudor does well. Socket it through for a behind. Second behind for Lee Tudor. One of 3 former North Melbourne players playing for Geelong today.
Smith in short. This is Scholl. Laidley towards Schwass, who has to wait. Up one-handed, not good enough. Brownless. Well smothered there by Mann across the boundary line. Now, the only drawn preliminary final involved Geelong. 32 years ago, they drew with Carlton. Carlton won the replay, but lost the grand final. No replay this year, of course. We'll go to extra time today, should it be required. North have done it once already in this final round. Rock to Schwass, who boots it to the wing. McKernan in from the side. Allison, slick hands. Carey can run inside the 50. Carey now will settle, measures the kick from 35, hits the post. There is justice.
Mansfield will have to review his game here just at the moment on Allison. Mansfield flew in that contest with McGrath and Carey, whereas Allison stayed down and quick hands found Carey.
Well, you just wonder with Mansfield, who had a broken rib and apparently a punctured lung only 2 weeks ago. Stevens take it backwards for North. He skirts around them beautifully. His left footer well inside the 50. Lombard. Time we've seen John Longmire on the lead to mark. Here he is right behind the boundary line and the man on the mark about 40 metres from goal. Protection from the stand. Kick by Longmire is a fantastic kick.
Up by 16 points. Carey left it behind. Schwass wrestled to the ground by McGrath. That was ambitious, asking for a kick there. We've got a ball up inside the 50 for North. Anthony Stevens, what an opening term for him, causing that man a few problems. Stevens, 13 possessions so far. Just over 2 minutes till quarter time. Handley gets it down. Schwass is in the row. Speak of the devil. Stevens down towards full forward. O'Reilly did well. Forced to behind. North Melbourne increased their lead. 5-8. 13 scoring shots to 6. Approaching quarter time.
Well, Geelong will have to find another way because they've started so brilliantly so often. They've started behind today. Allison towards Longmire. Good spoil O'Reilly. The ball goes out of bounds into the back pocket. There's Michael Mansfield, number 21, who in the opening minutes 2 weeks ago broke a rib which punctured a lung, and it's incredible to see him back playing today. Schwass goes back. This is his man. Grabbed by Rock, who came off the bench. A high ball. Crocker with the helmet. Ball out of play. 1.5 minutes to go to quarter time. And North Melbourne 5-8 lead Geelong 3-3.
North looking cherry ripe at the moment. Thrown in. McKernan goes back looking for it. Handley put a hand to it but didn't direct it. Blakey had a half chance, then fell over. And we've got a whistle. So a bounce about 40 metres out from North's attacking goal, and they lead it 5-8 to 3-3. Hocking, 7 possessions so far. McKernan guided it down. Hocking took one around the head. Stevens again got the hand pass out. Brewer stopped it superbly. Breaks away, kicks out wide. Allison, who's had a marvellous turn, comes back and takes the mark. Such a good kick normally too. Sends this one inside the 50, setting it up for Carey down there. In from the side, McKernan. We see that so often. Not Goldwood by Archer. McKernan had it, then lost it. Handley upended him. Mansfield wrestled to the ground. Schwartz got him. And another ball up.
Dennis, I called earlier that there'd been a swap with Riccardi going off Allison. Well, that wasn't the case, and perhaps it was only hopeful on my behalf that Melbourne would do something there.
McKernan got up very high. Ball comes underfoot. Down goes Gary Hocking. The umpire will ball it up again. A lot of players around this. Handley recovers to win the hit out. Schwartz, good one-handed pickup. Gains a few metres, got the ball out again.
That's a free kick.
Free kick, Schwartz. Wayne Schwartz. 14 votes and finished equal 5th in the Brownlow last year. He was ineligible. He wouldn't be the greatest bowler of all time if he got up on Monday night. We saw Longmire kick a goal from a similar spot, other side of the ground. Here's Schwartz. Right on the siren. That's just about over the goalpost behind. So North squandered a few chances, but they bombarded the goals in the first quarter and kicked 5 goals 9 in a lightning start to Geelong 3-3. Quarter time, the first preliminary final.
Who'll be king of the mountain in '94? Bathurst, only on 7, Sunday, October 2nd.
3-3, checking the goal scorers for North. Carey 2, Allison 2 and Longmire 1. And for Geelong, all singles to Couch, Brewer and Brownless. Well, Peter Riccardi had his problems in the first term with Brett Allison. They continued at quarter time. Terry?
Yeah, well, Peter Riccardi certainly didn't do his defensive job whatsoever, and I feel for Malcolm. I mean, it's a very frustrating position there where you expect players to be able to really coach themselves out there, and Riccardi, when Allison got away and was a damaging player, just didn't take time out from his own game to deal with his opponent, and that's a crucial part, particularly in finals football.
Down to the boundary, Jared Neal.
Yes, Dennis. Geelong got real problems up forward. Ablett hasn't found the ball. Billy's had one possession as opposed to, say, Carey's dominance up there. They've got real problems around midfield, and North Melbourne are just working a bit harder.
I think the key is the midfield. If North Melbourne can just break even, they should go on to win this game because of their better strike power up on the half-forward line. They've probably got the 2 best centre-half forwards on the one line in Carey and McKernan.
And Riccardi's had a real shake-up, I can tell you that, from Malcolm Blight.
Start of the second quarter here in bright sunshine now at the MCG, and Barnes cops one high from Mashenko and will take a free kick.
He's found a few this afternoon and certainly tried. Mashenko.
Barnes 4 possessions in the first quarter. Not as dominant as in recent weeks. Kicked by Barnes. Ablett touchless in the first quarter. It bounces through the pack. Mench is there. Martin gets back. Well done, Mick Martin, to rush the ball over the line in the back pocket. Dominant in the first quarter for North. Stevens, 15 possessions. Carey had 9 and Allison had 8. Hand pass comes back. Couch tries to break a tackle. Slick hand pass to Tudor. Puts it across the face of goal. Brownless at the back. But the ball's thumped over the boundary line and we'll have a throw-in.
The key Geelong players in the forward line yet haven't had a real jump at the ball whatsoever. The North Melbourne defenders have checked their every move as they've tried to go for the marks.
Mench in front, Philly from behind. Brownless going nowhere. Hickmott quickly away. Bairstow this snap, slides across the face. Hocking in the opposite pocket. Oh, I wouldn't do that.
No, you should not do that. You should not even contemplate that. Gary Hocking should walk back and just kick the goal.
So Hocking, the right full forward pocket, will kick from about 25 metres out. Inside trailing by 18 points at the moment. They need this one. Oh dear, should have passed it. Behind.
Wills and Colbert on the bench for Geelong. Earlier on we saw Nichols on the bench for North Melbourne with McAdam and Roberts. 39-22, North Melbourne in charge. Smith short passes to Fairley. He goes longer. Over half-back, Ashenko gets underneath the ball. Rock's got it just inside the line, just outside the line. The boundary umpire took over and signalled it out, so we'll have a throw-in.
That was a critical miss there by Gary Hocking. Not only missing the goal, but it's really sapped the confidence of his teammates. Geelong have got no spark going whatsoever at the moment.
Brownless and Mann. Bairstow takes it off Mann's hit out. Steve Hocking loses it in the tackle. Grabbed by his brother Gary. He goes to ground and is caught. High, says the umpire. Free kick to Geelong. He goes quickly by hand to Mansfield. His kick to the 50. Over the head of Pickering and out of bounds.
Interesting, after the heroics of that man yesterday, or rather last week, on Greg Williams, really no spot for him today, Terry.
No, with the return of the three key midfielders from the Geelong side, Liam Pickering has been shifted out a little bit to the outside of the rating system at Geelong.
Shooter, 40 metres out towards the kick-off line. Martin again wins the battle one-on-one, and the ball's out of bounds in the pocket. Ablett in front looking for a free, nothing doing. There's Pickering at the present time just playing on a half-forward flank. He was a prime mover last week.
This will be a key battle, won't it? I mean, Ablett struggled to get his 100th goal against Mick Martin, and he's struggling again this afternoon.
Ashenko couldn't mark the shoal kick. Picked up by Allison, boots it out wide. Carey, who started superbly, arches the back, gets away, slips it to King, confronted by Brewer, dragged down, holding the ball, the decision. Well done by Brewer, not easy front on.
Very good. All he had to do was take him to ground. You go to the ground with the ball in the tackle, that's dropping the ball.
Not a good kick, or was it? Barnes dropped the mark. Couch has to wait for it, surrounded by North players. Can't get it out. A whistle. The bounce on the wing. At the present time, the Cats just a little nonplussed by all of this. North Melbourne very hard at the ball and doing to Geelong what the Cats did to the Blues just 7 days ago. Archer cleverly got it across to Crocker. On the wing, kicks down to half forward.
McKernan leaves it. The ball was punched away by Mansfield courageously. McKernan recovered and has got it just inside the line. Terrific play by McKernan, but his kick is across the face of goal and out of bounds on the full. Well, he sprinted for that like Linford Christie. Not bad when you're about 6'7". O'Reilly kicks in. Barnes gets into the back of Ashenko. Hocking a little hand pass to Riccardi, who was shoved around at quarter time by coach Malcolm Blake. Onto the chest of Adrian Hickmott. Maybe something building now for the Cats. Inside the 50, all North Melbourne. They nearly spoil each other. Riccardi again from the boundary line. He took it out. We'll have a throw in. North 5-9. Geelong 3 goals 4. The only score so far in this quarter are behind the Cats.
Well, the key forwards being held. Brownless 1 touch, Ablett none. Here's Laidley over the ball, in trouble, digs it out. Scholes got it, dragged to ground, got the hand pass away. Hocking trying very hard, feeds it back. Tudor has been lively, down towards full forward. Martin backed himself against the ball and did brilliantly. Kicks towards the outer side, Mansfield dropped it. Schwartz has got him, almost a chain reaction there. Archer crashes through, well played. Schwartz up towards the middle, kicks down towards half forward. Longmire comes on the lead. Oh, what a terrific mark.
That's a great mark. O'Reilly wearing him like a glove, but he took it strongly.
55 out, launches one. It's close, just misses. Well, probably not a harder mark to take in football than at full tilt like that. A man right on you, the ball coming in hard, and just the one grab with sure hands.
Geelong have won their last 3 clashes against North Melbourne, both this year and last year at the MCG. Ablett kicked 10. Hocking takes the mark, off to Couch. The 3 stars came back today, but I don't know that Geelong's looking any better. And the 3 stars combining right there. Bairstow, the third of them, takes the mark. He plays on over the mark, surely. He'll have to come back.
And why does he do that? He knew he wasn't going to get away. All he did was show the world that he had a free teammate out there. He just need to get back quickly and be able to deliver it to the boy who'd made position.
9th disposal for Bairstow. Inside the 50. Brown has got a fingernail to it. Then applies the tackle on Laidley. Smith. Bairstow again. Chance here for Geelong. Brownless. Ashenko with the spoil. Laidley. Here's Paul Couch. Beats a man 35 metres out and kicks the goal.
Couch, the margin 12 points, North's way. Coming through is King, but it's going the wrong way. Couch again in trouble, surrounded, picked up by King. Boots it towards half forward. In front down there, Archer could have almost got a free twice. Back to goal, feeds it off. Schwass back to Archer, inside the centre square. Kicks down towards the 50. Longmire in front, almost the mark. O'Reilly punched away. This is Rock. Rock goes goalward. Will it bounce through? No, the wrong side as far as they're concerned. And runs further away, so it's out of bounds in the left full forward pocket. Anthony Rock, feisty customer. Boundary throw in. Alongside the behind post. In the bright sunshine of the MCG. Carey wanted that one. Couldn't wrench it out. Handley goes off the ground. Allison goes to ground. Brilliantly done by Pickering. Riccardi has to win. It's a touch ball anyway. Schwass over the top, gets it out of bounds.
Wayne Schwass superb there. 11 possessions for him to date. McKernan and Handley. Pickering has been very quiet. Riccardi to Hinkley, who's barreled over after he got rid of his kick. Barnes clean bowled. Stevens won't give him a possession for that, but a useful punch on. Crocker. Pickering again. Misses Riccardi. And Stevens walks the ball over the boundary line and will have a throw in.
It's still very tight in all the clinches. No, Geelong haven't been able to get any flow going, and I think that's been a trademark of the North Melbourne side over the last 12 months, that Dennis Pagan certainly has toughened them up in the one-on-one contests.
Here's Riccardi getting the kick out of defence. Scholl. Steve Hocking, a bit of a fumble, but now Gary Hocking has it. Up to Brownless. He needs a clean touch. Well done, Billy, on the turn. A very high kick. Ablett and Martin. Here's Mick Martin. Peterman goes off the ground. Couch. Stevens hasn't had a touch in this quarter after 15 in the first. Couch gets the hand pass to Gary Hocking. Hocking on the turn. Mensch in the goal square. Hasn't been sighted, David Mensch. He'll take a free kick.
He claimed the front position, and rightfully so. You called then that Gary Hocking and Stevens has faded out, but Gary Hocking is saying take some degree of control in this game. And even though the ball just struggled forward there, Geelong have got the benefit in that Mensch was playing in front of Fairley.
Well, David Mensch about to get his first possession. Ablett hasn't had one, and Brownless has had two. Mensch for goal, gets it. One straight kick the difference.
Sticking. Barnes has got a free kick. Alongside the centre circle. Hinkley, good evasion through the middle. Inside the 50. Cats looking better. Mensch again. A chance to tie it up right here. Dennis Pagan not happy about a free kick in the middle. You could see that. Now Mensch, quiet achiever on this side this season. And again this afternoon from 35, punches it through. It's all square at the MCG.
This is a good sign for Geelong to be able to work their way back in, and we just assessed Mensch's value there after his last goal, and he backs it up immediately. Ablett not getting the run at the ball this afternoon. Mick Martin checking him each time he goes towards it, and I think Ablett needs to review the one-on-one bustling that he's getting himself in with Martin.
Well, North careered away early, but the Cats have caught them at the 13-minute mark of the second quarter. Here's Brewer. Geelong again. Kick by Brewer to the front edge of the square. Hickmott, well played. Very well played. Ablett gets to the front. He'll get a free kick. And just as happened last time they played, Ablett couldn't get a kick, and it took 3 kicks to get him over the century, and it's taken a free kick to get him his first touch today.
That's a sign of the man in Mickey Martin, isn't it? He will give nothing away. He'll work the laws right to the edge. Sometimes he'll tip over a little bit. Might have been a tight one there for the umpire to judge on, but he's awarded to Ablett.
Well, the Cats going for their 3rd goal in 2 minutes to hit the front. So Geelong.
McKernan goes up and thumps it down. Brewer, important in the centre square. So too Hinkley, chips it out wide. Collision coming up, 2 hard nuts there. Laidley is down, he'll get a free kick. He was collected by Hocking. Well, tough as they come, that pair. Dean Laidley across half back to Shaw. Suddenly the test is with North Melbourne. The kick down towards half forward Carey. Out of the game in this turn. Left half forward will go long. The kick favours Longmire. Up he goes, fisted away by O'Reilly. Angle towards the boundary line, playing the percentages, and they'll throw it in. Malcolm Blight looking on. So proud last week. Of course, he played in 2 North Melbourne Premiership sides. Some irony there. Trying to plot their end this afternoon. Ball up.
Yes, the opposing coaches today both played for North Melbourne. Blight, a star forward who won a Brownlow and a McGarry and kicked 100 in a season, and Pagan, a doer, back pocket. Bairstow paddles the ball back to Hinkley. He's in a bit of trouble. Bairstow tries to punch it up. Brewer did well. Rides the bump, rides it straight over the boundary line, and we'll have a throw in. David King pretty tough from Port Melbourne. There's Brewer, who played in a premiership team in Adelaide last year for the South Australian Eagles. Going North way, Crocker. Oh, magnificent play by Hocking. He not only got between his opponent and the ball, but won the footy. Riccardi's lifted since that chest with Blight at quarter time. Riccardi gets it back and goes for a run. The kick towards half forward. Scholl was good. Backed up by Smith. A high ball back towards centre wing. Carey. His opponent takes it. McGrath's recovered after a horrid start. Brownless. Off hands to Barnes. Another goal coming up here in front of Hocking. Tudor on the turn. 40 metres out. Ablett. Or did it make it? It's through for a behind. Geelong by 7 points.
Certainly testing the goal umpire at that end this afternoon. Another close one. The ball knocked back into play, but no player could get back to it as it rolled over the boundary, over the point line to score 1 more behind for Geelong.
King off, McAdam on. Here's Laidley. Seems to be okay after that heavy knock. Members side with a kick. Ashenko's the target. Barnes the leaper. Falls behind. Pickering couldn't control it. Hocking, who's been terrific in this turn, got it to Handley. It's pretty hot. Comes back to Hocking. 55 metres out. Sets it up for Brownless. What a good kick. Billy Brownless directly in front. A chance to stretch the lead right here. 28 goals for the season. His best 8 against Richmond in round 24. He gets it.
Well, the turnaround has been so remarkable. Hocking's now up to 17 possessions. There he is. Stevens still with 15. He had those at quarter time, Anthony Stevens. He hasn't added in 18 minutes of football. Hocking's flogged him, and Hocking's got it again. Bairstow gets a bad bounce. It comes out to centre wing to Mansfield. Bairstow's down with a kick to the head. Ablett at the back. No mark. Smith. The hand pass across to Mann. He floats one. They're under siege at the moment, North, after such a great start. Laidley towards the centre. McKernan almost. Rock. Schwass. Geelong by 13 points all of a sudden. Here's Rock again. Gets the hand pass away to Crocker. Stevens' first touch in the second quarter after 19 minutes. It gets to the back. O'Reilly out to the 50. There's nobody behind him. Here's Bairstow, recovered from a kick to the head. 25 metres in the clear. Long to full forward. Brownless! Crumbing is Smith.
Now Stevens. Brewer should have taken the mark. Wins it on the ground. He's going to get a free kick. Not a good kick coming out there. The North. Brewer in short. Riccardi. He can run at them from here. 70 metres out. Spears the pass in low. Ablett had it, then lost it. Martin comes away. Schwass. 5 goals in 10 minutes for the Cats. Schwass around the outer side. Carey almost. McGrath's got him. Carey goes back on his knees to Rock. Rock at right half forward. Down towards full forward. Roberts on the ground. What a remarkable story. Oh, almost a fairy tale. From behind.
Could have been just the spark that North Melbourne are looking for. And the most opportune time to bring Mark Roberts on. While the Geelong side have taken control, North Melbourne needed some sort of spark. And for all the North Melbourne players to see their teammate Mark Roberts come on after such a long absence would have really lifted them.
O'Reilly kicks in 65 metres. Barnes climbs but can't mark. Bairstow takes another one round the head. Covering them left and right. And will take the free kick. The Geelong skipper over centre wing. Brownless almost pushed into it. Down goes Riccardi. Steve Hocking's hand pass a bit slick. Handley recovers. Floats one over the top. Pickering goes for a bounce. 55 metres out. Ablett shepherds a goal. What a turnaround this has been. That's 6 goals to nothing in the second quarter for the Cats.
Dennis Pagan now is earning his money without any shadow of doubt. 6 goals in this quarter, all to Geelong, and they really have their tails up now. He's continually tossing around his forward line. Nichols is now back on. Rock is off, but it hasn't made a difference just right in the centre of the ground where the Geelong side have really taken over.
North desperate for the next goal. 18 points the difference as Schenko gets it down. Bairstow couldn't control it. Hocking slips it away. Brewer through the middle. Wobbles it inside the 50. Tudor, brilliant acceleration. Turns, kicks from 45. Oh, that would have been very important. He's missed. Very lively forward. He hasn't finished his work. Anthony Rock taking a breather. 9-6-5-11. North reeling under pressure now. Can they rally from here? Here's Fairley in the back pocket. Members side, a high kick. McKernan from behind. Handley knocks it down to the advantage of Hocking. Hickmott, man on over the top. He tried to feed it to Tudor. Well cut out by Scholl. Allison picks it up. Kicks to the wing.
Carey. Punch away by McGrath. McGrath comes back at him. They used to play together in the North under-19s. Here's Schwass. Thumps it to the goal square. North looking for their first goal of the term. But in front is Hinkley to take the mark.
He's just a big-time defender, isn't he, when it counts?
Ken Hinkley. Couch on his own at centre half-back. 6 minutes remaining to half-time. Steve Hocking, Brewer. Running rampant through the middle, Geelong. Ill-directed kick, chest mark to Smith. 60-41, Geelong in front. Here's Stevens, who's been cut up badly by Gary Hocking in this quarter. Just gets the kick away. Good gather by Allison. Very high kick. Not a great one for the forwards. Roberts sandwiched out of it. Here's Roberts. Former Sydney Swan and Brisbane Bear. Into Nichols. Can't beat the tackle of Steve Hocking. Well, the Hockings are having a family day.
Great play, Stephen Hocking. He knew he had a left footer coming at him. He cut that left foot, and Trent Nichols had no right foot, went to it. Hocking got him. Tremendous play.
Dared him to kick it with his right, didn't he? Just dared him to kick it with his right. Pickering. Forward of half back. Down towards the wing. In front, Hickmott, knocked away well by Scholl. Stevens slipped over, comes back towards Scholl. Great use of the body, got rid of Couch. Kicks it down inside the 50. McGrath in front, wanted front position, got a fist on the ball. Pickering didn't have it, spills across to O'Reilly. Plenty of support. McGrath to Brewer. He's at right half back, Brewer. Who's on down the ground? He goes for distance. Hickmott's in front, again intent on destruction. Scholl knocked it down. Stevens knocks it forward. Laidley tried to go again. Brownless comes through with dash. Brownless has a bounce through the middle. Goes down towards half forward. Mensch is in front from behind Fairley. Taken away by Mann. Swings it out wide. Here's a chance for North. Meters in the clear, Schwass. He can take it and go. Still Schwass around the outer side. Phil Manasseh like this one. He comes down towards the 50. Unloads now towards the kick-off line. Cherry fell over, gets up, awkward bounce. Crashing into him, Pickering, coming away McGrath. Geelong holds steady towards the outer side. Awkward bounce, in front Schwass.
Schwass at right half forward to Blakey. North looking for their first goal of the quarter. Kicked by Blakey to the goal square. McGrath in front of Carey. And Carey, Wheels, doesn't look like the same player he did in the first 15 minutes.
No, he doesn't. Tim McGrath now getting all the opportunity he wants, but the key factor has been in the midfield. Geelong have taken over there, and when North Melbourne can't supply the ball to Carey and Longmire as they would wish, they really start to struggle.
Not the longest kick by McGrath, but it comes off hands to Riccardi, who's certainly had a better second term. The ball out of bounds just over centre wing. 3¼ minutes to half-time. At quarter time, North Melbourne led by 28 points, and now they trail by 19. And Dennis Pagan with a worried look. Such great success with the lower grades at North Melbourne, trying to steer the seniors into a grand final for his first time. Blakey didn't have time. The ball spills to Couch. Is left-footed at centre half forward. Mensch tries to palm off Fairley. Here's Ian Fairley. To open space. O'Reilly with pace and Longmire. Socket away by Smith from Brewer. Brewer's holding his arm. That's the sort of thing that can break an arm. Here's Tudor taking it to the line, and we'll have a throw.
Maybe time for Dennis Pagan to look at some offensive work in the centre of the ground, and perhaps Alex Ashenko off and Corey McKernan for a run on the ball against Barnes.
Hanley knocks it forward. Longmire very hard at Crocker, who still manages to get it. Kick inside the 50. Carey wants it. Strong hands in front. Well, if ever they needed a skipper's goal, this could well be it. Just outside the 50. He's already got a couple. Carey unloads. It's close. It's missed.
He's the man at the moment, isn't he? He's the one that needs to stand up here and get his side back into it. As we head towards the half-time break, a North Melbourne goal, he will be very important to them.
Hinckley short. Steve Hocking's got it. Still in the back pocket. Back to Hinckley. He boots it out wide. All Geelong out there. Oh, missed by Bairstow. Hocking and Bairstow combined. McGrath through the middle. What a term they've had, the Cats. Probing kick inside the 50. Hickmott kept his eye on the ball, something Archer didn't do. Hickmott from the 50. Down towards full forward. Barnes is there. Has to wait. Oh, that's a mark for mine. Doesn't matter. Ablett goal. Well, I thought that was a mark. But Ablett's got the goal. And Geelong have got a big lead.
That's great running by Barnes. The ball coming in from Hickmott, and he covered a lot of ground. Left Alex Ashenko way back in the centre of the ground. Got back there. And that's where Ablett's going to be of great value throughout the day. He hasn't looked like getting away from Martin, but he's going to be always thereabouts.
Well, Ablett, who didn't get a touch in the first quarter, has come back with 2 goals in this second term to be part of this remarkable turnaround that the Cats have put on. In this quarter, they've kicked 7 goals 3 to 3 behind. North led by 28 points at the first change. Minute 38 to half-time. McKernan wins in the middle. Hinckley for Geelong. Comes back to McKernan. Maybe a goal before quarter time will be some sort of a lift for the Kangaroos. Here's Longmire. But he's taken to the line by Hinckley. And Geelong were once a team who couldn't defend. They just relied on kicking more points than the opposition, but no longer the case, Will.
Oh, Stephen O'Reilly's been a great find for him at centre-half, at full-back. His work on Chris Grant here in the Saturday night game, and then Kernahan last week. A very strong defender.
Cats by 24 points. Carey tried for clean possession. Stevens going to ground. Crocker couldn't control it. Hocking again. He set the tempo. Got it to McGrath. Kicks to midfield. Archer's in front. Uncontested. Glenn Archer plays on the man alongside. Man goes down towards half forward. High floating kick. Carey has to wait. Got hands to it. Couldn't hang on. Allison 45 metres out. They're desperate for a goal, but they can't buy one. Allison misses. He's got 2 this afternoon. His third there would have been very handy.
He's got 2 goals, 3. Carey's got 2 goals, 3.
Hinkley comes away. Short to Handley.
Steve Handley from the back pocket. Brewer, who's been part of the chain for Geelong in the middle of the ground. He's been good. Coming up for his 12th disposal. Between wing and half forward. Man steps up to take the mark. To Crocker. Can North get a goal before the half-time siren? Centre half forward, Roberts flew, comes to Mansfield, slides off the hand pass to Handley, Hinkley, Barnes. Maybe time for the Cats to get one. 14 seconds left, out wide to Gary Hocking, who's played a sensational quarter. Leaves it for Hickmott. His hand pass back, Riccardi, 55 out. On the overlap is Gary Hocking, cap it off with a goal, Buddha. And he's missed it. Well, that would have capped off one of the finest displays of midfield football you have ever seen for Gary Hocking. But nevertheless, he is the man who's turned it around. And Geelong kicked 7 goals to nothing in that quarter. It had nothing to do with the win. And in fact, if anything, it's mostly a cross, but if anything, Geelong were kicking into a slight breeze in that term. Whatever breeze hits the playing arena here at the MCG. Dennis Pagan shell-shocked after a second quarter, which saw his team go from hot favourites for a place in the grand final to outsiders. And here's Malcolm Blight, who virtually chested Peter Riccardi in the huddle at quarter time. He got something out of him. He got something out of plenty of other Cats. Gary Hocking was unbelievable, and the Cats have stormed over the top of North Melbourne to have a very big lead at half-time. 10-7-67 to 5-13-43.
Australia's premier sporting show, Sports World with Bruce McAvaney, tomorrow on 7.
Turnaround, it doesn't need us to explain it, but I think Malcolm Blight's shake-up at quarter time when he was so furious with young Riccardi, he just literally grabbed him and just shook him, and all the players, I think, responded because of that. Pickering's move into the centre, as Jared picked up very early, was a very good one, cut out the very dangerous Stevens. Riccardi and Brewer had complete control across the wing. Hocking, of course, well, his first quarter was outstanding. And the defence, McGrath got on top of Carey and snuffed him out, and all of a sudden Geelong came alive, and wow, what a turnaround there. What are you going to do with your side?
Well, I think the midfield is obviously the problem, and I believe that Ishenko has got to hit the boundary line. He's not really giving them any run, and they've got a fellow McKernan who not only can take marks around the ground but can give them some mobility, and that's where they're struggling. Obviously Stevens has got to lift his game on Hocking, or they may have to make some sort of move there, but if they don't get the ball out of midfield, they're not going to win. Now, they went into the side with dropping Romero and putting in Mark Roberts. Now, that was a calculated risk, and I think that Dennis Pagan has just gone in too big, and he's got to get every runner he can onto the ground.
Jared, I think, Dennis, this is going to be a tough quarter, this one. North will throw everything humanly possible at Geelong to try and unsettle it, but Geelong at the moment have got the game running.
So, set to go. Second half of the MCG. The winner advances to the grand final. Geelong with a good start here. Bounce again, as it did at the start of the game, favours Ishenko, who at the second attempt knocks it down, but Bairstow gets it away to Handley. Handley alongside the centre circle, goes down towards half forward. Shooters in front, missed the mark, picked up by Smith. Untidy hand pass, Laidley, close to the boundary line. Comes back to Stevens. Saw a lot of the ball in the first term. Handley goes back and takes the mark on his chest.
Stephen Handley from centre wing. Short pass to Barnes. Still on the wing. Couch in a bit of space. 7 goals, 4 behinds they kicked in the second quarter, Geelong. Couch comes in short, and these men are just picking up possessions at will, not being manned up.
I agree with Gerard. Dennis Pagan's really got to look at Schenko, bench him, get a more mobile player on who's going to test Barnes.
Kick by Johnny Barnes, landing 20 metres short. Brownless in front, can't take the mark. Soccer off the ground by Tudor. And Riccardi, but it hit the man on the ground, I think, and went through from behind.
Yeah, Geelong were able to set that one up just purely by chipping the ball away, and it was Schenko's man Barnes who was creating that aversion.
Blakey deep in the pocket, plays on immediately to the run of Crocker, who comes up towards half back, kicks towards the wing. Poor kick though. Handley's in front. Appear to be held without it. No free kick. McKernan floats it down towards half forward. McGrath, who's lifted, punches away from Carey, gets it out of bounds. Tim McGrath badly injured his knee against North in round 5. He's fought his way back. McKernan in front, gets it down. Pickering's got it now though. Heads for the boundary line, and why not? Gets it across, a boundary throw in. Former North Melbourne player. 1 of 3 this afternoon. Handley and McKernan go at it again. Handley, clean possession, dragged off it, taken high, says the umpire. Cat free kick on the wing. If they can get out to 5 goals in front, you get the feeling North will be hard-pressed to get back. Oh, something special from Stevens.
Sensational mark by Stevens. Up to half forward. Man in front palmed it down. That was Hinkley, but grabbed by Nichols. Longmire taken high, surely. Free kick to Longmire against O'Reilly.
There's no doubt about the free kick, and the advantage there of John Longmire having the left footer, Trent Nichols leading out in front of him. He knew where he needed to go, and Nichols didn't let him down.
Kicked 1 in the first quarter, and this is to be a drought breaker for North. First goal since the first quarter, but he's missed. And boy, did North need that.
5-14, that's an incredible scoreline from a side which has been so very, very good in that area all season.
Ken Hinkley. Short to the pocket. Oh, not a good kick. O'Reilly has to go back. Finds it just inside the boundary line. Still in trouble. Hinkley to Hocking. Well, they deserve to lose it. The Hockings combined. Schwarzer quite a good tackle. This is Nichols. And he's content to go across the line with the ball. Struck him above the knee, so a boundary throw in. Trent Nichols, quiet today. 10-8, 5-14. Geelong in front. 7 goals to none in the second term. And they'll work it forward again. Hinkley, who got it from Pickering. High up and under towards the middle. They come from all directions. Mansfield with a lot of courage. Drives it inside the 50. Where's Ablett? Battling with Martin. Fisted away by the defender. Hickmott gets it across to Tudor. Can he finish? No, he can't. Out of bounds on the full. That's been the story of his day. A lot of the ball, but no finish.
Really lets himself down in that particular area, Lee Tudor. He's creating opportunities here today, and even throughout the season. I mean, going into the game, he kicked 7 goals, 9 behinds for the season. Not a good enough return.
And today 3 behinds and that one out of bounds. Couch can't get rid of the ball in Laidley's tackle. It spills over the boundary line and we'll have a throw in.
I think that's one of the positive signs though, Drew, for Geelong. I mean, they're getting those opportunities, and I think they are definitely creating more options up forward than North Melbourne are.
His man, little hand pass to Stevens, who dropped it. Couch, a centering kick. Ablett and Martin in front. Fairley. Intercept by Tudor this time. Tudor gets his...
Species now, they're looking down the barrel. Schenko out of the middle, 5 goals down North. Here's Scholl. Kicks it inside the 50. Longmire favoured by the kick. Awkward half volley. Keeps it in front. He's 35 metres out. Pulls it back towards Carey and McGrath. Oh, what a mark! Turns round and kicks the goal. Unbelievable. His third, and they don't come any more inspirational than that.
The captain of the side has stood strong and tall there. He gets caught up in this real bustle with McGrath, and every time these two players play on each other, this is where the game's played. An absolute great example of strength being put on by both of them, but Carey with the additional height there and there's better skills finishes it off very, very well.
Back in the middle, and North going forward again. Allison pushes his man down, no whistle. And past Bairstow. Tim McGrath gets it towards the outer side, close to the boundary line, and it just gets over. McGrath's been 1-1 this year against Carey, and he's probably 1-1 today because, well, Carey dominated early, then McGrath came back, but Carey kicked a freakish goal just a minute ago. Chain of hand passes. Hocking, the bounce missed him. He tackled Sholman, he didn't have it. Laidley goes to the boundary line. Bairstow goes to ground. And it's out at centre wing. Well, this game had been a sellout, but I don't think the crowd would be pleasing the AFL all that much because it looks as though not too many AFL members have turned up. Plenty of spare seats in the Great Southern Stand. Schwass didn't see Hocking coming. Brewer the hand pass. Bairstow, and a scrappy period of play. We'll have another throw in.
11-8, 6-14. North have got to make their move here. McKernan and Handley, body to body again. McKernan clean possession, appeared to throw it out. No free. Schwass goes in hard. Fell over. Hocking goes over the top of him. Breaks the ball in and a whistle. Hocking, superb this afternoon. 23 possessions and credited with nothing right there. Diving into that pack. Down towards half forward for the Cats. Marvellous second term, could send them into the grand final. Brownless, Pickering from 55, long kick, Ablett watches it sail, it's a goal. Pickering second.
Good kick out of there. Allison flicks the hand pass to Blakey. Blakey 48 metres out, great kick. What a quick goal that was. Seen anything of Blakey today. He's had just 4 touches, but a very important goal.
He hasn't had the involvement that he would normally have. Again, we see Allison, who was so very good in the early part of the game, but Blakey is showing his skills. A very consistent and tenacious player for the North Melbourne side. He needs to be able to instill some more confidence in the teammates around himself.
Right now it's a shootout at the MCG. As Schenko and Barnes go up, it falls at their feet. Barnes at the second attempt, knocks it forward. Hocking's in there. Crocker reaches over the top, gets it down to Scholl. Scholl swings it out wide into the path of Blakey. He's cracking it down towards right half forward. North are lifting, kicks inside the 50. McGrath fell over. Carey runs back. The ball continues to run away from him. Sharp angle. Out of bounds on the full in the opposite pocket.
The luck of the roll of the ball, wasn't it? Just wouldn't sit for him. He kept running further and further into that pocket until such a stage where he just couldn't drag it back.
Geelong by 24 points. O'Reilly back towards half back. Crocker over the top, got it down. Nichols to Stevens. 60 metres out. Stevens, long bomb. Longmire's down there over the top. O'Reilly, Carey in front. He's got another one. Oh, what a game.
Would be concerned to Dennis Pagan that it's just Wayne Carey that's doing it all at the moment. His captain is standing up when the chips are right down. North Melbourne now need to really take hold of this momentum that they've gathered at the start of this second half and really nail it home. They need their wingers and their midfielders to be more aggressive at the ball and see if we can get some more flow right through the half-forward line.
After it had been 5 goals, the margin back to 3. Schenko. Crocker with the helmet. Brewer for Geelong drops it in the tackle. Handley goes off the ground. Short of centre half forward. Brownless burrows in. Couch palms the ball out. It's pretty tough in there. 11-minute mark, 3rd quarter. The play comes in, will ball it up. And the crowd really warming their mitts here on a cold Melbourne day.
Well, there comes a point in every game where it's on the line, and you get the feeling now that both these clubs know it is.
Both great attacking teams, and we're seeing the best of it at the moment. Crocker can't get boot the ball. Umpire will ball it up once more. By Brett Allen. Barnes and Ashenko. Riccardi tries to go through the pack. Stevens across the ground. A chase on. Brewer and Scholl. Scholl's hand pass missed the target. Here's Brewer. Inside 50. Still going. Hits a brick wall. It was Laidley. Free kick to Brewer. I don't know about that.
Very interesting. We can get a look at the replay on that one, but Brewer was just playing the ball long in front of him, and really, Laidley just stood there. Just stood there to take him, checked him as in a basketball fashion. That was after the whistle had been blown. I'm pretty sure he awarded it against Laidley.
19 frees to 6, the count, Geelong's way.
And listen to the North fans as Shane Brewer lines up for goal. 40 metres out, has kicked it. His second.
It's finals time, and Thomas Brothers Mitsubishi are going head-to-head.
Points, Hawking had it, then lost it. Stevens inside the 50, Carey. This is something special by Wayne Carey. He's got 4, 2 in this turn. Lining up at number 5 from about 35 metres out directly in front. His best haul this season, 7 against Hawthorn, way back in round 3. The skipper, leading by example, slots it. Oh, the game's on.
What does Malcolm Blight do here now with Tim McGrath? Very interesting situation where Carey opened well with 2 first quarter goals, but McGrath came back. In actual fact, the move has been made. McGrath had to come off the ground. And we have Colbert going there now. Looks like he's going straight to Carey, so the move has been made.
Tim McGrath, the redhead, sits down, having been benched. Carey, 3 goals in the opening 14 minutes of the third quarter, 5 for the game.
It's a tough call, isn't it? It's a fine line the coach walks, that he stuck with McGrath after quarter time, and he came back and served his coach well. But now the change has been made when Carey started to look so dominant in this third quarter.
Lee Colbert now with the job on Carey. Schwass through the middle. A thumping kick. Chance for Longmire. Open goal, gets it. Can you pick a winner at this stage?
North Melbourne 5 goals to Geelong's 3 in this quarter. And that goal for Longmire, a lot of it would have had to be with this quick ball out of the centre, and then Colbert wanting to get into the play early, pushes back into a contest that perhaps he shouldn't have got to, and the ball spills free for Longmire. So there's going to be a settling down period now for Colbert, and his work that he does at centre half back on McGrath.
Well, no breeze, but all the goals coming at the western end in this game, virtually all of them. Barnes goes up and slaps it down. North now, inspired. Laidley stands his ground defiantly. Boots it back to the middle, but Barnes right in the circle, takes the mark, swings it out wide. Riccardi, metres in the clear. He can run it down towards the 50. Riccardi, he settles, goes from 60. High kick. Hickmott goes back. Ablett kept out of the contest. Did a bit of pushing. The whistle's gone. The mark to stand. Archer, deep in his own defensive area. Goes out wide. McKernan's in front. Handley reaches over the top. Scholl, well played. Slick hands. Pickering pushed in the back. He'll get the free kick. Liam Pickering out of side. 75 metres from goal. The Cats are being challenged now. Goes towards the pocket. They battle again. Martin and Ablett. Fell to the ground. Smith comes away. Tudor almost got him. Schwass close to the boundary line. Evades a tackle. Poor kick though. Goes directly to Pickering. 65 metres out. Tumbles it inside the 50. And Martin has won this battle today. Takes the mark in front of Ablett. Just to kick over the mark.
2 goals the difference, Geelong in front. Twice in this quarter they led by 5 goals. Kick to centre wing, and there's Carey, a long way from centre half forward. He's kicked 3 in this term. Even his kick doesn't reach centre half forward. O'Reilly spoils Longmire. Gary Hocking. gave it to a man who was in all sorts of bother. Longmire cannot get boot to ball. Tempo's really lifted in this quarter. Laidley, who felt hardly done by when he gave a dubious free kick away to Brewer, he's a long way out of position and was going at it like a junkyard dog there. 86 Geelong, 74 North Melbourne, and we have 9 1/4 minutes to three-quarter time.
Back to back, Handley gets it down. Couch has got it in desperate trouble. Holding the ball, the decision, going North's way. And Laidley to take it on the outer side. What a competitor. Dean Laidley goes down towards the pocket. Carey comes on the lead. Hocking goes back. Great courage, got a fist on it. The cream is coming to the top now. Hocking taken high, should get the free kick. Hocking in the back pocket. Carey for his side. Hocking responding in kind for his. Inspirational stuff at the MCG as they're fighting both these clubs to play in the grand final. Geelong 13-8, North Melbourne 10-14.
Sorry, Dennis, but this has been an incredible period of football, hasn't it? Wayne Carey has been able to take over. I'm very nervous about the Colbert match, but now Geelong getting their chance to come back again.
But he is too.
Hocking actually just 3 possessions in 18 minutes in this quarter after 15 in the previous quarter. What a seesawing contest that is. The ball out of play in the forward pocket for Geelong.
Ablett.
Free kick to Ablett. He doesn't know about it yet.
It's 22-7. That really isn't in balance, isn't it? Worth a player almost. 15 kicks. So North Melbourne need to tidy up their act. That's the way we view it.
These two have been at each other all day. Well, can't argue with that one, Mickey. Grabbed and pushed him.
Ablett centres the ball to Couch. Now Geelong under siege at the moment, especially from Wayne Carey. North Melbourne, who were goalless in the second quarter, have come back and in this term have kicked 5, 3 of them to Carey. This could be a steadier for the Cats through Paul Couch. 45 metres out. His left footer opens the gap between the goalposts and he kicks it.
In trouble. Likewise Nichols. And the bounce. What a pulsating game it is. Under cloudy skies at the Melbourne Cricket Ground. McKernan, big swing. Nichols out of the congestion. Floats it inside the 50. Colbert goes back. O'Reilly over the top. Rock an opportunity deep in the pocket. Pushed off it. Close to the line. Well played. Leg was Hinkley. There's another 3. No doubting that either.
Now, is that a trip? Is that reportable?
Well, it was.
Well, McKernan's done a week earlier this season for the same thing.
You're quite right. Mansfield, but the blitz is off.
And there's a grand final next week.
Mansfield. Well, it may be the trial by video gets him. Here's Laidley. Off hands on the wing. Well done. Feeds it to Stevens. Riccardi almost got him. Stevens inside the 50. Carey again knocked away by Colbert. Scholl roving the pack just outside the 50. Still he goes, Scholl. Hard against the line. Pulls it back. Rocks in front. Hinkley closing. Got a fist. Timely one. Out of bounds in the pocket. Throw in. 14-8 Geelong, North Melbourne 10-14.
One of the great traits that Ken Hinkley has is that he can play on smalls, and his extra reach is always an advantage in those marking contests.
Carey tries to take clean possession, nearly does, applies the tackle! Gee, spun him around, it was nearly worth a kick, but the umpire said no, the ball is held to Mansfield, and I'll throw it down. Look at this.
What a performance by Carey, up for the ruck throw-in, applying the tackle.
He had some claims. Oh, McKernan! Hooked the kick and out of bounds. Well, he is just a marvel. He is labouring under that difficulty of the calf injury, Wayne Carey, but the way he plays the game, you'd never know it.
No. Hinkley in the back pocket. 92-74. High kick towards half-back. McKernan's in front. Barnes the leaper. Hocking. Hand passed it directly to Schwartz. Upended. Brewer falling forward. Got the hand pass off, and it's going to be a free kick to Brewer. Well, quite remarkable. 25-7. Here's Mansfield from half-back towards half-forward. Laidley goes back in front. Bairstow. 2 former West Australians. Knocked on and well played by Barnes inside the 50, but Martin Laidley comes away, kicks to the wing, all North Melbourne. Rock dropped the mark. Riccardi made him pay. Brownless has got it. 80 metres from goal. Bairstow went back with courage. Collided with Archer. Bairstow hurt. Scholl comes away. High up and under. Only gained about 25 metres. Handley over the top. Stevens goes in. Tackled by Hocking. Ball jarred loose. On top of it, Hickmott. And we've got a whistle. Mark Bairstow is down and hurt.
Courage to go back, pushing into that contest there as Alex Sashenko has come off and is benched onto the bench, and McAdam on.
Backhander by Handley, and the ball underfoot. We'll have another ball up. Mark Bairstow is still in trouble here.
We're talking ribs, aren't we? A knee right in the rib cage there.
Geelong doctor Hugh Seawood with him, and he doesn't look too good, Mark Bairstow. The stretcher's coming out, and they put him on the stretcher here. Surely he's fit enough to walk off, but he's coming off. Yeah, they are putting the stretcher down. Bairstow's standing there. It looks like Carey's saying, "Get on the stretcher." Now that's what it looked like. How could that be? Let's go down to Neil Curley.
Well, it's just a coach's ploy, which, Malcolm Bryce, he's working within the rules, but it makes a bit of a farce of it to stop the game. Roberts has come on to replace Rock for North Melbourne. But, see, if a man's coming off, you're one man short. So Malcolm Bryce using the stretcher rule to make certain the game is held up till he gets his reserve player on. And that's going to be rules. But Bairstow, that was great courage by the captain.
Well, thanks for explaining that. It really looked like umpire Carey was having something to do about it, but Carey lost a blood, eh?
Certainly opens up the influence that a coach can have on the game, doesn't it?
And as soon as the stretcher gets behind the boundary line, Mark Bairstow hops straight up.
Andrew Wills out there now. And away we go again. Couch down towards half forward. McKernan did well. The kick not particularly good though. Slides off the side of his boot. Unkind bounce there for Stevens. Blakey tried to knock it on. It came back to Stevens. Boots it down to half forward. What about that? Carey, unstoppable. All that stands or has stood this afternoon between Geelong and a grand final is this man. Oh, that's terrific.
I'm not sure the greatest centre half back in the game could stop that.
Carey from right on the 50 pulls the kick. Going at number 5, misses.
And when you're coaching against a side who has a player in such fine form, what you need to do is not necessarily deal with him, but ensure that nothing else around the around him takes control of the game. If Carey has to win this on his own boot, well, so be it.
Neil?
Yes, it's not serious. He just got a head knock, and I think he'll be okay in a short time. Yeah.
Hinckley kicks in, virtually straight down the middle. Barnes! To Pickering. Great mark by John Barnes. Pickering towards half forward. Brownless up in front. Man got a fist to it. Hickmott just outside the 50. Feeds it back. Hocking. Into space for Couch. It was pretty hot. Taken by Man. Untidy kick though. It floats towards the boundary. Out of bounds on the full. Tudor will take the free. And he's a thumping kick. Lee Tudor. A centering kick now as we watch Barnes again. Meantime, the action on the cat forward line. Pickering has it inside the 50. High floater. It travels about 15 metres. Knocked on by Mensch. Missed by Tudor. Still he goes off the ground. Lee Tudor. He's got the goal. They will not be denied. Geelong. Tudor gets his second.
Historically, the third quarter has always been the one which sorts some men from the boys, and North Melbourne have come out like men. They've been throwing everything at Geelong, but on each occasion, Geelong have been able to come back when it's most necessary to get one, and Lee Tudor has looked all afternoon like being a very dangerous man there for them.
McKernan now on the ball and wins a big thump out of the middle. North go forward. McAdam hasn't seen much action. Carey has, and marks again inside centre half forward. What a performance by Wayne Carey, who has been nursed through this finals campaign. Physiotherapy just about every day, and I wouldn't be surprised if at the end of the season we find out there's a back injury there as well. Carey goes for his 4th for the quarter. gets it.
Carey, 10 marks, drew 15 kicks, 5 handballs and six goals for. I mean, his involvement in the game has been absolutely phenomenal. Geelong need to now just keep working around him. Let Lee Colbert do as best he possibly can, but let's ensure that nothing else gets away.
McKernan unloads and thumps it down towards half forward. Hocking fists it back. Scholl didn't have the ball. The umpire wants it. Hocking standing over Scholl. So a ball up, still inside the centre square. 15-8, plays 11-15. Barnes waits for it. McKernan flies over the top. Steve Hocking away to Brewer. And it's going to be a cat free. Steve Hocking, is it? Or Brewer? Brewer taken high. Just forward of half back. Sends it down towards half forward. In from the side, Hickmont. Good grab. Plays on off one step and Wills has taken the mark. He's only about 40 metres out. Very important kick upcoming. Dean Laidley on the mark.
That's a fantastic performance by Wills. He must be cold having sat on the bench all day, comes straight on and takes a running mark at fingertips like that.
Wills kicks, stays right or behind.
Well, one area where North Melbourne improved over the summer from their disappointing finals capitulation last year was in body strength. They pumped up with the weights over summer and they're certainly stronger and fitter. They'll come home, and one aspect about Geelong is you wonder how far in front they need to be until they're safe. This ball is taken out with the help of Scholl's strong tackle and will have a boundary throw in.
It's true, we look at North Melbourne having the week off last week to refresh themselves and Geelong taking the tough away into this preliminary final. It'll be interesting to see which method wears better at the end of the day.
Yes, a 4 or 5 goal lead or maybe 6 goals for Geelong at the last change. Will it be enough? North work it forward. Stevens, the hand pass into Roberts, who's back on. Back to Stevens. Stevens left footer. Long to Longmire. Hinckley gets back there and punches into the crowd. Gee, that was good running by Ken Hinckley. Doesn't get a stat for that, but he gets a pat on the back.
Boundary throw in. 15-9, 11-15. Wayne Carey, 4 goals in this term. 6 for the afternoon. Couch has got 3 for the Cats. Handley and Carey. Handley gets it down. McAdams got it. They need some magic. Pulls it back. Awkward bounce for both of them. Longmire gets back deep in the pocket. Arches the back. Tries to get away. Roberts. Too much carry on the hand pass. Bad luck for North, but Couch runs it away. Kicks to midfield. Barnes has got the run of it. A minute remaining in the term. He spikes it down towards half forward. Laidley leads in the race. Wills is with him. Mann crosses the boundary line. And it will be thrown in just outside the 50. No, deliberate's the call.
A bit soft there. The umpire Peter Carey gave it against Billy Brownless for a little bit of a push.
Yeah, push in the back. Mann had the ball, so it couldn't have been deliberate. And the ball up.
Absolutely nothing there.
No, nothing at all.
99-81. A 3-goal lead to the Cats. Earlier this quarter, a couple of times, they led by 5 goals. 28 seconds remaining. Barnes with a 2-fister. Schwass leads the race. Brownless and Schwass a collision. Billy boy, you're all right. Well, we're set for a pulsating final quarter here in the first preliminary final. The winner into the grand final, the loser goes out. Riccardi dashes back for it. Time has run out in the third quarter. Well, at least North Melbourne got going. They kicked 6 goals to 5 in that term, and they're certainly in with a chance with half an hour of football remaining in the preliminary final. At the last change, it's Geelong 15-9-99 to North 11-15-81.
Who'll be king of the mountain in 94? Bathurst, only on 7, Sunday, October 2nd.
And they trailed by 18 at quarter time. What a quarter by Wayne Carey. 4 goals in that quarter, 6 to 3/4 time. Will it be enough?
This match is part of the Foster's 1994 AFL Premiership season.
7 Sport, the home of big sport. And next Saturday, of course, one of the biggest days on the sporting calendar, the AFL Grand Final. October this year. Who will be there? That question's still unanswered. Check your local guides. And then, of course, the great race from Bathurst, the Tui's 1000. Let's go down to the boundary now, Neil and Gerard.
Thanks, Dennis. Well, Malcolm Blight was very strong with John Barnes that quarter. I think he's asking for a big effort in ruck. And also, it was a very similar pattern to the first quarter. Carey in command, no Brownless, no Abbott for Geelong, and they struggled. Now, it's quite obvious. You stop Carey, you win the footy match.
Yeah, I think if you stop the Geelong midfield, they're going to win the football match, because the likes of Hocking and obviously Bairstow went out of that quarter. Couch was a little bit more subdued. But I think importantly they've got Ishenko off the ground. They've put the young McKernan onto the ball, which has left a mismatch up in North Melbourne's forward line, with Roberts matching up on handle. Now, if the ball's put out in space, Roberts will have too much pace. But it's a little bit difficult right at the moment to see North Melbourne coming over the top.
Should be a big last quarter.
Tim McGrath gets the job back on Wayne Carey. Colbert came on and Carey kicked 2 more goals on Colbert. A couple of replays from that third quarter. Watch Ablett and Martin. Oops. A little bit of a back armour from Gary Ablett. Then Mick Martin drags him to the ground. And guess who got the free? Gary Ablett. And here is the injury to Bairstow. He copped it on the cheekbone. And he's still on the bench, Mark Bairstow, the Geelong skipper. We start the last term with the Cats leading by 3 goals. McKernan in ruck wins it for North. And the rucking could be all important in this last term. Fitness another factor. Schloss goes to the boundary line, and we'll have a throw in between wing and half forward.
That's a key call there, Drew. The fitness of this last quarter, with North Melbourne coming off a bye last week. Geelong doing it fairly hard against Carlton in the qualifying final at Waverley Park.
Stevens, a clever kick over his head, but Mansfield takes the mark at half-back for the Cats. North led by 28 points at quarter time. Centre wing, Archer. Kick by Archer towards centre half forward. Handley punches down. The Hockings combine. Back to Ken Hinkley. Here's Barnes. Laidley comes from behind to spoil. McKernan off the ground. Well run by Riccardi. His hand pass out wide. McGrath up from half-back, a bit of a fumble. Centering kick by him. Brownless runs into space and Pickering dives at it but can't take the mark. Down he goes, a knock to the head, and gets the free kick, Liam Pickering. So the free kicks now go to 28-8 in favour of Geelong.
Of course, there's no law to say they should be either. But
you don't see many games like that. Schloss setting the mark about 49 metres from goal. The crowd's just seen the free kick on the big screen in replay, and the North fans are livid.
Pretty hard to find.
Pickering's kick, a few centimetres short, and rushed through for a behind.
Fairly and squarely with North Melbourne now the challenge. Official attendance today, 80,121. Laidley has tried his heart out. Goes towards the middle. Barnes in from the side. Carey the leaper as well. Here's Hocking to his brother. Gary got it to Stephen. This is McGrath. Tough day for him. Stevens worries him out of it. Stevens breaks away. Strong shepherd by Allison. Stevens running down towards the 50. Pulls it back towards the middle. McAdam. Unsighted all day. Directly in front. 35 metres out. Very important kick upcoming. Great shepherd by Allison to release Stevens forward of the wing. McAdam, such a star last season. Disappointing year this one. McAdam kicks cruelly.
After the opening bounce. Soccer off the ground by Steve Hocking. It's grabbed by Allison. Back he goes to Stevens. They combine for the last goal. Long kick. Carey there with McGrath. McGrath in front. Second grab. Takes the mark. Well done, son.
Great move by Malcolm Blight to bring McGrath back on. He certainly won't let his coach down now.
His second mark of the day. To the members' wing. Barnes is in the middle of the pack. And Mann punches to the boundary line and finds the safety of out of bounds.
There's a great degree of energy in a player once he's given a second chance, Drew, and I think Tim McGrath can see that now.
13 points the margin, Geelong in front. McKernan wins, Brewer grabs it for Geelong. Centering kick, Riccardi one hand, it comes to Pickering. His kick in the direction of Ablett with Martin. Did Martin push him? Not so, said the umpire. The hand pass back to Fairley. Fairley's kick over halfback. Laidley running onto it.
Up towards the wing, Dean Laidley across the body. Carey comes to meet it. Good mark at full stretch. Carey, 6 goals this afternoon. Kicks down inside the 50. Longmire must get a free kick surely. John Longmire. He'll kick from about 45 metres out. He's got 2 goals this afternoon. And like Ablett at the other end has really struggled for opportunities. O'Reilly terrific on him, like Martin on the champ. Longmire, very important kick. It looks pretty good. Behind. Ever so close.
2 goals, 3 to John Longmire.
The margin is 12 points. 15 and a half minutes to go. Plenty of time. Hinkley towards the outer side. Longmire over the top. It falls to Tudor, who boots it through the wing towards half forward. Awkward bounce. Martin favoured by the bounce. Run down by Brownless. Hickmott's got it now. Tries to give it back to Barnes. He's in trouble. Desperate trouble as it turned out. Taken by Smith towards half forward. Big leap by Handley. Pickering crashes in. Still he goes.
This is being played at a red-hot pace in the last quarter. The kick by Hinkley to Brownless just behind centre wing. 2 straight kicks the difference. Geelong in front. True centre wing is Riccardi. He breaks away from Archer. His left footer to Barnes. Too far out to score, John Barnes. Ablett on the 50. The mark is paid. Now Gary Ablett has hardly had a touch today. He's had just 3 kicks, but he's kicked 2 goals from them.
Significant thing here, Drew, is that he's come out and he's playing out around half forward now, getting Martin out into a little bit more space.
Gary Ablett, distance will test. Drop short of the goal square. Well done by Laidley. Stevens started like a rocket, went quiet, going well again. Stevens gets it back from Crocker. The kick out wide. It'll go out at half-back flank. No, Riccardi keeps it in and beats a man. Well played, Peter Riccardi. Wills has it on the 50. Well, dare I say it again? Once again, the distance will test. 100, plays 88. Geelong in front. Whoa. He unloads with a huge kick. Oh, gee, it's a great kick. Just offline for him behind. Kicked just 6 goals in his last 10 games. He was in fine goal-kicking touch early in the season. The only Geelong bloke to play every game this year.
13 points the difference. North Melbourne trail. Comes out wide towards the members' side. Scholl is up in front, knocked away by Brewer. Here's Martin well up the ground, goes for a run, kicks down towards the wing. It's a relayed free kick. Now it's coming back to Scholl off the ball, is it? Well, that's interesting. Will take it left half back. Nothing happened there. Scholl was following that pair up with Brewer. He kicks from half back to the wing. Carey almost. This is Brown, who was so good last week. The hand pass, well, an element of danger. Hocking back to Brown. It needs a kick now. Brown squeezes one away towards the wing. It bounces obligingly for Scholl. Carey, awkward hand pass. Made something out of nothing, Carey. Forward of the wing, kicks down towards the 50. Roberts, a little rusty. Still he goes. Met by Handley, who cleared a path for Pickering. In goes Allison. Stevens continues to work. Mansfield knocks it towards the line. Picked up by Roberts. Back to goal. Gets it across to Nichols. 60 metres out. Long kick. They'll contest about 10 metres out. In from the side. Barnes crashes the back and knocks it out of bounds.
That was like his smother last week in the goal square. Absolutely superb. Longmire contests in the boundary throw-in. Gary hocking over the ball, just throwing himself at it. And the North players thought, well, is he holding it? The umpire will ball it up. Is it a case of just Geelong hanging on? Can they get some more goals? So far in this last term, they've added just 2 behinds. Nichols. Behind to Trent Nichols. His first score for the day. Mark Bairstow, the skipper, on the bench. Looked like a facial injury. It's interesting to see him carried off on a stretcher.
O'Reilly in the back pocket. 101-89. Geelong in front. After a slow start this afternoon, O'Reilly drives it around the outer side. Roberts in front. Good grab. Strong hands. He's normally a long kick. He's about 75 metres from goal. He'll send it in deep, and he does. Down towards full forward. Carey comes from behind. Didn't get his hands above his head. Hinkley in front takes the mark. Reliable defender. Pops it in short. Mansfield runs up to centre half back. Kicks through the centre. Coming on a searching lead is Brownless. Just forward of the wing. Wills. Down towards left half forward. Minch offers a lead. He's in front. Fisted away. Well done by Fairley. Crocker went to ground. Hickmott slaps it out wide. Laidley, who's been terrific, met solidly by Wills. It's out of bounds. Well, what does the future hold? A grand final or zip? We're about to find out, and so is he. Innes Pagan. Not much he can do now. Very much in the hands of the players. Archer strongly in on Couch, and the ball up at left half forward.
Well, the goal-scoring heroics have dried up in this quarter. North 1-2 to 2 behind. Quarter by quarter, North had kicked 5, none, and 6, and Geelong 3, 7, and 5 previous quarters. Here's Wills off the left boot, drops in short. Barnes at the back, but cut off beautifully by McKernan. Oh, great pick-up by Allison, centre square. Hand pass out to Mann, up towards the centre of the ground. Roberts takes the mark. Awkward half volley for Schwass, but he gathered it magnificently. Blakey with a head-on collision. He just avoided it. Kept it going North's way, though. It spills to McAdam. He has time. A little bit of a bounce. A bit of a stutter, just like the commentator. It's in the goal square. Roberts. Hinkley. Geelong out of trouble. Handley gets the hand pass in front of Brown. He didn't get a run until the last quarter. The ball goes out of play. It's to be a relayed free, I believe, out to Brown.
Hasn't Hinkley been tremendous in this part of the game where Geelong backline have been under siege somewhat? Hinkley has stood strong throughout.
Carey again. Superb. Carey pumps it back in once more. Longmire in front. O'Reilly reaches over the top. Down went Hickley that time. Longmire to McAdam at close quarters. McAdam, wow, very lazy, out of bounds on the full. Don't know what he was trying for there. Well, last week his side were tremendous against Carlton. The Stars are back today. It hasn't been any easier for him. Riding every bump now, Malcolm Blight. Hinkley taking his time, settling it down in the back pocket. Geelong in front. 15-11 to 12-17. Up by 12 points. High kick. McKernan could have marked it. Didn't know that. A lack of talking. Carey, strong tackle, got him down. It was Pickering. And now Brewer peels off half back. Short to Hocking. His 31st possession. A good one, finds Couch on the wing. Brewer runs on. He's got legs. Stevens, superbly done. That could be big in the context of the game. Suddenly the ball in the other direction. Over the top, Allison. Waiting behind, an opportunity down there for Brown. Allison to Carey. Brilliantly smothered by Hinkley. Brown slaps it off the ground. Mansfield gets it up to Hinkley. Hinkley deep in his own defensive area. A cool head. A very cool head. Hocking had to wait though. Opportunity for Stevens. Stevens 25 metres out. He's missed. He has missed. He's hit the post. Point side. They've got reason to make mistakes. They're tired, but gee, that was an open goal. Schwass did well. And Stevens.
12-18. Oh, North Melbourne.
Stevens is up to 36 possessions, which is remarkable considering he was flogged by Hocking in the second quarter and had just 5. O'Reilly up to half forward. Brownless in front. No, free kick to North. Fairley was held out of the marking contest. No mark to Brownless. Kick by Fairley, half back to half forward. Carey wrestles off McGrath and takes the mark. Wayne Carey, Longmire. Hinkley punches. Allison! Allison! Oh, he's missed it! Well, there have been chances galore, and the commentators, the players, and the spectators all know it.
What do you make of this? You've got North Melbourne now with real control of the game. They're setting things up. Geelong don't look at any degree of control. It's North Melbourne's game, and they just can't put them home.
Here's Hinkley. Just over 8 minutes remain. Drives it towards the outer side. The margin is 10 points. Big fly from Barnes. It bounces back to him on the ground. He gets the hand pass off. Into the path of Handley. Met solidly by Smith, and the ball spills across the line. Throw in outer side. What a game. That meeting we spoke of earlier in round 20, one of the standout games of the season, and this one getting closer by the moment. Hocking to Handley from half back, goes to half forward. Man is down there, did well. Plays on immediately. Doubt the wisdom of that. Fairley kicks it out only as far as Couch. Got a bad bounce, Couch. Close to the boundary line. Working in a confined space. Here's Tudor. Nicely done. Spins out of trouble. Smothered off the boot. It ricochets across towards centre half forward. Minch held without it, says the umpire. Well, that is a line ball decision. Did he take clean possession? The umpire didn't think so. Minch unloads with a massive kick. Down towards Ablett. Runs free behind. Archer gets back and goes across the line.
Points the difference. 2 straight kicks, and North can't buy a straight kick. 2 straight kicks and they'd be in front. Just inside the line, Scholl takes the mark. He's got Ian fairly unmarked up here in between half-back and wing. He can pop it over the top to Schwass. I reckon North will finish better than Geelong. This will just about go to extra time. The second final in a row. Oh, Shepherd behind the play.
That's not 5 metres, Wayne Carey. It's a lot more than that.
Carey has put down Minch. Here's Pickering at half-back. Minch is hurt and in the hands of the trainers. Riccardi takes possession near the centre of the ground. Nichols robs them of the ball. Couch, good hand pass. Mansfield on the run. Wobbly old kick onto the chest of Laidley. We've got just under 7 minutes to go. North 2 straight kicks to win.
Man has it on the outer side. Minch is off the ground. Kick comes in short. This is Stevens. He's seen so much of the ball this afternoon. Drives it down towards half forward. McKernan goes up. Takes the mark. Hit the ground running. McAdam is about 80 metres from goal. Edging closer. Centres it. Back comes Carey. McGrath is with him. Awkward bounce. McGrath heads for the boundary line. Now it's a foot race. Carey's in front. McGrath in close attendance. Carey hurriedly onto the boot. Allison, awkward bounce. He's 25 metres from goal. This time, perhaps, he settles, he gets it. Here come the Kangaroo.
In the middle with just points the difference and under 6 minutes left. Chest mark to Rock. A straight kick and they're in front. Rock's kick is marked in the goal square by Lombard. Here come the Kangaroos. Oh boy, Geelong led by 5 goals in the third quarter. North Melbourne have hit the front. Like North now, wouldn't you, Wheels?
I think you would. They have had control of the game for the majority of this quarter. They've been able to pepper the goals consistently, get it in around the goal mouth, but not able to finish it off, either through some good defensive work from the Geelong players or their own inability to be able to convert. But now, having stuck with it, they've got the opportunities, they've put them in. Mark Bairstow looking to come back onto the ground, an important player in this last critical period of the game.
Great comeback by the Kangaroos. North Melbourne haven't been in front since the 13.5-minute mark of the second term. They lead now. Victory in sight. 5:23 remaining. They're in front by a point. Barnes goes up. Beaten by Ashenko. Taken by Schwartz. All one-way traffic at the present time. Hinkley repels this one. Back towards midfield. Ashenko goes up. Takes the mark overhead. Plenty of run from North. Schwartz outside him. Kicks inside the 50 again. Players troubled by this sun. That's a good mark. McGrath wants to go and does. All about heart now. Who wants it most? A grand final next week or oblivion? There goes the kick from Hinkley. Down towards half forward. Gave it away. Terry Wheeler still thinks he's coaching.
Billy Brownless ran back away from the ball. You've got to go at it.
Smith gave it to Fairley. Kicks towards half forward. Ashenko is up. Knocked away by Hinkley. Riccardi, shaken by his coach at quarter time, has come back to be a good player. Pulls it around the corner. Colbert fell over. Has to get rid of it. Bairstow back on the ground. Run down by McAdam. Play on's the call. The ball is under there somewhere. It'll have a ball up.
Had to be one or the other, didn't it? Holding the ball or in the back.
Well, I'm not sure he could have got it out from there, but I know what you're saying. Well, you're probably right, holding the ball.
Ball up at centre wing. 1 point the difference, North in front. Couch gets rid of it in a hurry. Up towards the 50. Brownless backs into the pack. Umpire says, give it to me again, and I'll ball it up. Who would be a coach at this stage? There's very little Malcolm Blight or Dennis Pagan can do about it. The men out there have got to do it.
What about the odds of North going to their second consecutive extra time game?
Well, it's the first year of extra time in finals, and we might get it twice. Here's McAdam, away to Scholl. Scholl to the 50. Inside the 50. Archer leads the race, gets a bad bounce. Oh, McGrath, well done. To the centre of the ground, Gary Hocking. Magnificent mark. Wide to Wills. Now the Cats a chance. They trail by a point. Andrew Wills with pace. Nobody in front of him has missed it, but the scores are level.
Well, it shows, doesn't it?
Made the right decision there, Wills, to turn and go. The closer he got, the better his chance was always going to be.
There's Laidley at left half back. 103 apiece. All the cards on the table. And 3 minutes remaining. High to the wing. Pushing the back surely. Free kick to Rock. Brown gave it away. Rock on the wing. Schwartz goes outside. Rock goes for distance inside the 50. And why not? Carey is down there. Loose ball behind. McGrath takes his time. Swings it out wide towards the boundary. It pitches just inside his defensive 50. Ashenko lumbers towards it. 55 metres out of Ashenko towards the pocket. Archer can't get there. It's out of bounds on the full. Geelong free. Level. 2.5 minutes to go. Stoically, Blight looks on as Hinkley runs out of defence yet again. Kicks to midfield. Brewer has to wait. Up he goes, and that's a good grab. Scholl got there late. Brewer inside the centre square.
Well, I did tip a draw, Dennis, and I tipped North in extra time if it goes to that.
You're excellent.
Brewer up towards the 50. McKernan got so high, took it on his chest. Laidley. Kick by Dean Laidley. Carey in the chop. Oh! Great mark by Archer. Glenn Archer will be kicking from about 55 metres. Under 2 minutes left. Scores level in the preliminary final. He's giving all the impressions that he can kick the distance. Will a point be enough? Might make it. Oh! John Barnes! His second mark of the day, Barnes.
Why play on?
Here's Couch. That's the way they play, Geelong. Here they go.
Riccardi around the outer side. Listen to the roar. 103 apiece. A minute and 10 to go. Smith in the row. End-to-end football. Shoulders on in the middle. That's ignored. Mann's got it now from half back towards the wing. Will we go to extra time? Thumped away by Couch. Rocks in front. Inside the last minute. Here's Schwass on the outer side. Goes down towards half forward. Ill-directed. Full-chested Hickley. What a game he's played. Back towards half forward and Couch. We're down to 45 seconds. Inside the 50. Will's got a hand to it. Laidley, possibly the best on the ground. Hits for the boundary line. Brownless fell over and the ball's out of bounds. And the clock stops at 54 seconds.
North Melbourne defence have been tremendous this last quarter. They've stopped everything that Geelong have thrown at them.
103 points apiece. Last boundary throw in, surely. Last roll of the dice for Geelong. The ball towards the boundary line. Pickering's over and out. 25 seconds left. We will get another boundary throw in.
Ablett's a man. He's got to take the jump here. Ablett's got to jump, grab it, have a snap. Watch him.
Like in the 89 grand final. Hocking had a big lead. Mick Martin gets it. But onto the chest of Colbert. There's 18 seconds left.
Colbert, what will he do? Started on the bench. We're down to 10 seconds. Colbert. And the mark is missed down there by Barnes. Right on the boundary line. Tudor. He will kick after the siren. Oh my goodness me.
There were 2 seconds on the clock when Ablett took the mark.
There is no justice in football. That was the look on the face of Michael Martin, the master all day, and this game will be remembered for this kick. Gary Ablett, 5 metres out. Any score will do. Geelong are in the grand final. Well, how about that?
Dennis, you call there's no justice in football. Mickey Martin had been a tremendous player all day. He'd led his side so very, very well from the back. But Ablett was the man of the moment right at the end to clinch the game for Geelong. Incredible stuff.
Geelong win by 6 points, 16-13 to 14-19. Ablett winning the game after the final siren.
And it was their only goal in the last quarter.
Dennis Pagan finding Malcolm Blight in the crowd. And Blight springing his step now after a remarkable fight in that final turn. They're going to their 3rd grand final under Blight in 6 seasons. They're yet to win.
And Dennis, twice in this final series, a kick after the siren has won the game for the kids.
Broad smiles all round. And the sun is shining on Geelong. What a game against his old team. Malcolm Blight striding off the MCG, knowing he'll be here again next week. High fives all round. What a victory last week over Carlton. And today again they seem gone. I think it's fair to say luck plays its part in that sort of finish, but Geelong were there and Ablett was there when it counted. Let's go down now. Paul Couch speaks with Channel 7.
Thank you, Dennis. Well, Paul, Wagga, that was a big one.
Yeah, it was just, all the finals have been fantastic, and that was just one of the beauties. It was a hard game all day. They stuck at it, and we sort of stuck at it. And Barnesy, thank God he took that mark, that end.
They had had the momentum on you that last quarter.
We were tired. I think playing at Waverley and a few blokes tired legs, and it's a fantastic effort.
Well done, Paul. All the best. Back to you, Dennis.
Yes, thanks, Neil. Well, what do you say? One of the great finals of all time, that one.
It certainly was, Dennis. I mean, both sides can be very proud of the performances, and if this was a grand final, I think the AFL would have been very happy with the performance of all the 42 competitors who were put out there. They really put the game on its highest level today. Ablett well held by Martin, but at the end of the day, he was the one to put them there and Geelong into their third grand final in 6 seasons.
There's our final scoreline, 16-13 to 14-19. Geelong home by 6 points. And just a reminder, some stations will be crossing live to the West Coast Eagles in Melbourne from the WACA ground following the break. For other stations, will return to the MCG.
$7:30 tonight, join Prime for Australia's biggest party.
Join them coming up later today, the West Coast Eagles against Melbourne at the WACA ground in the second preliminary final. What a fantastic game of football we've seen here. Geelong after the siren, a goal to Gary Ablett, winning by 6 points. The final scoreline 16-13 to 14-19. Checking the goal scorers. Ablett 3, but well held all day. Couch got 3, 2 apiece, and plenty of them to Brewer, Tudor, Brownless, Pickering and Mensch. And for North Melbourne, Wayne Carey got 6, 4 in the third term as North came back. 3 to Allison, 3 to Longmire, and singles to Blakey and McAdam. Well, Terry, how about this? I am emotionally drained, I think, after a game like that. You can feel for these two men as they walk across the MCG. Blight finding Pagan, and then that smile.
You can. I mean, Malcolm Blight has every right to be happy, but Dennis Pagan, I do feel. I mean, you get your side to a preliminary final, you get so close to the ultimate game on the MCG, and you drop it there by the narrowest of margins.
Emotional scenes during the break there too, Terry. Some supporters of North Melbourne openly weeping down there.
Oh, yeah. I think the whole game really teased everybody's emotions all day. One side would be in control for a moment, and then a single player would take control with some scintillating football. Gary, young Stevens early in the game, and then Gary Hocking into the second quarter, then Wayne Carey in the third. Absolutely sensational football by all players. And at the end of the day, it comes down to probably one player who hadn't played as well as he should have. Mick Martin, an extremely good job on Gary Ablett, but Ablett put it through.
Dying seconds of the game. Let's take a look. Ablett, the siren goes about here, and he'll kick from 15 metres out. Bear in mind, any score would have done it from here. So already the Geelong players are celebrating. They knew the game had been won. Michael Martin, well, it was a hurried kick. It came across the goal face. An element of luck, certainly. Ablett was behind his man, took the mark, and celebrations all round. And it will go down as one of the great AFL finals of all time.
Oh, it definitely will, Dennis. Wayne Carey, what a phenomenal effort in that third quarter, the way he took control of the game and kicked 4 goals himself. We spoke about Hocking, but it was really a tight game right throughout, where everyone had their opportunities to go. North Melbourne had shots in the last quarter. They couldn't buy the goal that they wanted. Opportunities that should have been nailed by Allison in particular there. But then Geelong now moving into a grand final berth against the winner of the game later on this afternoon, and they've been there before, and I think that will put them in good stead to have a go at pulling off a grand final win that they haven't been able to do under Malcolm Blight as yet.
So the Cats by 6 points, back right after this.
When it comes to motor vehicles, a lot of effort is spent protecting the driver. And now, when it comes to green slips, MMI has designed one that offers up to $200,000 free protection for the driver at fault by simply phoning 008 027 268. Australia's MMI, the quality standard in insurance.
Summertime is Barbie time at the Gas Centre. And the best news is you can now have your existing barbecue connected to mains pressure natural gas. Even your existing barbecue can be converted. For portable Barbies, there's a convenient bayonet connection. The Gas Centre also has a full range of new season barbecues by Beefeater, Rinnai and Sunshine. For your next gas barbecue, talk to the people who know gas. Wagga Wagga Gas Centre. Prime Television, supporting local business and local people with these local traders.
For family healthcare 7 days a week, see Kennedy's Pharmacy Wagga. Kennedy's for qualified friendly advice on nutritional needs.